81 years ago, in June of 1938, for 10 cents, you could have bought the first action comic with Siegel and Shuster's Superman in it. So, for all you comic book lovers out there, happy birthday to DC Comics, the beginning. And you know what time it is. Let's go. Hello and welcome to Doomsday T on DC. And took Memorial Day weekend off, and it was a light DC news week. So we'll cover that. And plus, I was super busy. And starting off this week, I haven't talked a whole lot about Wonder Woman on these shows. I mean, of course, some you can't. Can't go without talking about, the big three. And just of my history of Wonder Woman, I mean, come on, let's face it, Linda Carter made me a man, right? I mean, come on. Her and Catherine Bach. But anyway, as a kid, I always enjoyed watching the Linda Carter Wonder Woman. Love this theme song. I still hum it today. Love the new theme song. Hum it every day. It's a ringtone on my phone whenever my mom calls. DC has really always done Wonder Woman well, for sure. I think the year of the woman was either like 1999 or the year 2000. I thought, man, DC, when are you going to give us a Wonder Woman flick, And, it took a while before we finally did get, a Wonder Woman movie, and even got her with the Trinity and the rest of the Justice League. But, and like I've said, though, every time I mention Gal Gadot, how can you not love that woman? She plays a perfect Wonder Woman. The sweetness, the kindness, but yet the toughness. I mean, this woman will kill. If that's what it takes. I mean, she is a warrior. But going back to the Linda Carter show, just silly, I guess, as a kid. I always loved it, like, if she was going to be like on a motorcycle, or she was going to be in water whenever she would do her little twirl and changed, and she would have like whatever suit fits that moment, like she'd have her helmet and like some biker kind of suit, or she'd have like a wetsuit, and like her hair, it had like a hair thing, it was all like smooth with the goggles, but it was like Wonder blue and white and whatever. Just always loved it. That was a great show, and honestly, man, of course you had the blonde headed girl that did like the pilot. But anyway, they did do they did a good job with the origin story on that TV show. They did a good story with the World War II stuff, and of course Steve Trevor. I mean, they covered a lot of ground on that Linda Carter Wonder Woman, and to me, it's still one of the top hero shows that's put out. I'd put it against Flash or Arrow or anything. I mean, that Linda Carter Wonder Woman is a really great TV show. But it is a shame that we don't have somewhere in the middle a Wonder Woman movie, and I always wondered that. I never did understand why DC didn't cash in on that. And I think I've said it before, like Wonder Woman toys, Wonder Woman statues, things like that fly off the shelves. You can't hardly get it. I mean, Wonder Woman is a huge cash cow for DC, and why they haven't cashed in on her before now, I don't know. But Patty Jenkins this week came out. I mean, it was last week, but anyway, she was, of course, laughing about it, but she was saying how she had saw a cut of Wonder Woman 84, and she was like, oh my gosh, why did we change the release date? Like, so apparently, we're just now, it's June 1st, and she's got a good cut of it, and she wishes that she'd have kept that November 1st. At least I think it was the last date. They had moved it around in November and December a couple times, I believe. But that November 1st date, she should have kept 2019. So instead, I think we're waiting until, I don't know, May or June. It's like a year from now, I guess, somewhere around that, before we get the Wonder Woman 84. But that movie is going to kill. I mean, and Jenkins talking, about it right now, you can tell she's proud of it. So it excites me, man. I love Wonder Woman. I love everything she stands for and who she is, and just a great role model like Superman. Those two are great role models, and they're the top of the DC universe. And of course, Batman is too. And speaking of Batman, they did confirm Pattinson, and I wanted to clarify whenever I did the Batman special last time. Whenever I say that I've been behind the Pattinson decision since the beginning, I mean, like, the first rumor I heard of Pattinson being Batman, it was either at the end of last year or the first of this year. Like, that rumor has been circling for a little while. And I'm telling you, I remember telling my ex-wife, I said, because me and her, when we were dating or whatever, we went and saw the Twilight movies, and there's definitely a couple parts that I laughed out loud, and of course she thought it was funny too. Those movies they're okay, they're a little cheesy, they're a little over the top, and the editing's real weird. Like, there's that one scene where they're like talking, and it's a real slow edit before everybody talks. Like, I don't know, it's weird, but anyway, I told her, I said, have you heard, who they're thinking about playing Batman? She was like, no. And I said, Pattinson from Twilight. And I said, I'm 100% behind this. And she said, you know what, T? She said, I agree. She goes, I can see that. I said, yeah, man. I said, that's a smart move. And the people that don't get it, I can't help you. But Pattinson's a brooder, man. And this is going to be good, him in a noir film. And there's all these different rumors that it is or isn't connected to the DC Extended Universe. The last thing I heard that it's a Batman reboot, like a Batman soft reboot. And if they want to do a Justice League movie, in a few years or whatever, Pattinson's the man. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Apparently it's a 3-picture deal. And, we're getting a Bat universe regardless. So I don't know if they're going to separate this somehow. Like I said, we're just going to have to wait and see. But I don't care. Give me a Justice League movie tomorrow. I don't care. With Pattinson, I don't care if you change Ezra Miller out. Because, and I hate this for Fisher, but it's June 1st. Their contracts are up. Miller and Fisher's contracts are up. And I hate it. I don't want them to, recast Ezra Miller either. But that one wouldn't hurt my feelings. Now, recasting Fisher, man, that's hard to take. And don't get me wrong. There's somebody out there that can play Cyborg. But, man, Fisher's the man. So we'll see where that goes. And that Flash movie's still on the hook. And another movie on the hook, the Supergirl movie. And there was a little bit of news about that. Again, at least putting it out there. And supposed to be filming, I think, in, 2020. So there's some things working, and we'll see where the cards fall. I mean, I want it all. Make everything, make a Plastic Man, make whatever you want to make. But, you got to get a Green Lantern here. And it would be nice to get a solo Flash. I also heard a rumor, and like I said, guys, there's so many rumors. But if this is true, awesome, that there might be a Hulk girl in Wonder Woman 84. But take out the grain of salt. People just spout off stuff. That's probably wishful thinking, because I'd love to see that myself. The other DC news that we had came out this week is the comic book writer for Batman, Tom King, is co-writing with DuVernay on the New Gods movie. That can only be a positive. I mean, it can only be a plus. And, that movie's obviously greenlit, and that's great. That we need that movie. It establishes more of a bigger universe. And to me, it establishes some people that you need to know from DC. It's a big deal. So keep that rolling. That's a good move. Tom King and DuVernay doing New Gods. I've been for her from the start, the whole time anyway. So I'm all for it. Let's keep that rolling for sure. The other DC Universe news is it's leaked that Elba Idris is going to be the Bronze Tiger. That's perfect. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it. That's a perfect casting. That's someone that you want. Like I said, we're getting a Bat universe. We're getting, what are they doing? I mean, maybe they don't know. Maybe they're just making movies like Marvel did at first, and then, they're kind of, snaking things in here or there. We'll see where all this goes. Like I said, we're just building. We're 6, 7, 8 movies in, and DC's made like $7 billion off those few movies. So they know what they're doing. All this whatever competition, blah blah. DC's made $7 billion off of those movies, guys. I mean, they're going to make some more movies. So don't get discouraged about anything. Don't let the haters discourage you. Movies are being made. Bat Universe movies are being made, which tickles my fancy anyway. But and luckily we've got Wonder Woman set. A good foundation for her. Got a good actress for her. I think she's going to ride that part out. We're set on her. That warms my heart. I love Gadot. Like I said, the woman is. How could you not fall in love with her? She's just such an adorable creature. So and to have her as Wonder Woman is just. I just couldn't have picked it any better, man. Going back to the Batman trilogy that we have coming with Pattinson. The big rumors that have come out about that movie this week is you had that Nicholas Hoult, which is the guy that plays Beast in the X-Men movies now, not the previous trilogy, but like First Class, X-Men First Class, Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse. It's the guy that plays Beast in those movies. He was up for grabs for possibly playing Batman with Pattinson. The interesting thing about that is they've signed him. And apparently there's a Robin. Robin's going to be featured in this movie, which, oh my gosh, is so awesome. And could you not see this guy as the Riddler? He'd be a great Riddler. Matter of fact, he reminds me of the guy that played the Riddler on the Gotham show. So, this guy's, they had him up for Batman. A lot of times that's how it works out. You end up with a villain part, or, maybe he ends up as Robin. Because I could see him being a good Robin for Pattinson, man. That's a good duo. I can't believe it. If you had told me this, 6, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, oh no, you're kidding me. But I'm so happy about this. And this movie, like I said, we're getting 6, 7, 8 Batman villains. I mean, Penguin, Catwoman, Scarecrow have all been rumored. I mean, if you're going to do a noir Batman movie, throw Riddler in there. How could you not? We'll see about the Joker. I'm not opposed to having Leto play it, but I don't know how they want to connect this right now. Like I said, I've heard it's a soft reboot. You know, if we were to get a Justice League movie today, it would be Pattinson, Gadot, Moa, I guess Cavill. Golly, please be Cavill. I'd like to lock him up. You know, if we can lock Cavill up, then I'm happy. Lock Fisher up, for sure. I'd lock him up. I know. I'm going to keep going back to him, and I have a lot. But that guy just knocked it out of the park, man. I mean, he's a great cyborg. You couldn't have picked any better than him. But I think that's all the DC Extended Universe news, or the DC Cinematic Extended Universe. Maybe we should just call it Worlds of DC or something. Or just call it DC Cinematic Universe. I don't know. I guess they don't want to, whatever. They got to have their name. But the DCEU. And this week on Comic Book Corner, I've not read it yet, but I had a buddy of mine tell me that the new, I guess in the Rebirth or whatever, but the Earth 1 series, like the Batman Earth 1 series, that one in particular, I heard will knock your socks off. Now, I've not read it, but I trust, like the person that told me about it, he's like me. He's a Nightwing fan. He's a Batman fan first, or Nightwing fan first, Bat Universe fan. And usually me and him line up pretty good on comic books and those type things. So if you've not jumped into that Earth 1, I'm just so behind. I've been reading scattered stuff and non-comic book stuff, and I need to get back in. I'm back and forth on things. But that really got me intrigued on the Earth 1 books. So, go out and give that a try. And if you're a young person, from what I understand, these are good stories to dive in and sink your teeth into. So, everybody go out and let's check it out. I'm gonna order me. I saw there's there's already, I think, 3 volumes out on paperback. So I've already put it in my cart on Amazon. I'm ready to buy them. So I just want to touch on that on Comic Book Corner. And moving on to T's Toys, I read this week that there was a new line of Injustice toys being put out. The Hiya company are putting out a new run of Injustice figures, and I'll grab some pictures of that and throw it on the video or whatever. But I saw the Batman, and anyway, it looks good. Like I said, I will put them all in the on the video, and you can check out what they look like. But just because it's a new line of figures, and the Injustice story has been one that everyone enjoys, a long-lasting story, and it's a good Elseworld, it's a good what-if type, scenario, and those are always fun. I'm weird about Elseworlds, like, you don't want to dive in too much, but man, there's some good Elseworld stories that are just awesome. So there's definitely a few that I've picked up and enjoyed. But I always try to read canon, and what's going on in the universe at the time. But like I said, check out those Hiya toys. It looked great to me. Like I said, it's your typical Injustice line with Superman, Supergirl, Brainiac, Wonder Woman, all of them. So give them a look. And that's going to wrap it up this week for Doomsday T on DC. Just wanted to check in. Like I said, I've been trying to make these shorts, and they've been going 30, 40. The shorter I try to make them, the longer they get, don't they? So I do appreciate everybody watching, and that's the news for this week. And hopefully we'll see what tomorrow and the next week brings, and anything breaking or anything huge, I'll cover and give you my opinion on it and what I think about it. And like I said, thanks for watching. And y'all out there, be good or be good at it. You know what I mean? So, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. It's the Doomsday T on DC. See ya.